Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Talking Reds. And tonight it is Talking Rivals. And we have the biggest rival in the house tonight. We have the biggest rival. They might not be a direct rival right now, but they are still the biggest rival and will always be the biggest rival. Kojo, Man United fan right here. Talking Rivals about talking about the other people around Liverpool, mainly downwards at the moment because we're looking down on every single team in Europe at the moment.
Must be nice.
Kojo,
must be nice.
How's it feeling so far down? How's your season going?
It's terrible, man. Absolutely horrendous. Firstly, where are we? Are we 12th now? 14th, 12th? Something like that. Firstly, that's great. Number one. Number two,
you moving up.
Watching you and the City rivals just go, like this in the last couple of years has been great. So watching you guys, a new manager, I was thinking, you got another bold Dutchman. Maybe you have the same issues we did. Nope, not even close. Not even close.
It give you a slimmer hope. It just made it worse.
I was like, guys, be careful. These guys are dangerous. And no, not so much. Not for me. So I think we were the unlucky ones only. You guys haven't stopped. Klopp built a great squad, and he built a great core, at least. So even if you had to go through some of my massive changes, you had the core there that was, strong. And even with that, someone like Alisson, who's now having these struggles with fitness, you've really got to make sure that you're going to have a great goalkeeper in that's really next season as well. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I'm watching. I'm not going to say this usually out loud, but enviously. I'm just sitting there like, man.
I feel you, because I felt the same way in the 90s and the 2000s. Don't you worry about that. How you're feeling now is exactly how we Liverpool fans felt for years.
Yeah,
so
it's not great. It's not great.
It's not great at all. It's not great. I'm not a drinker as such, not like I drink socially, but this kind of thing probably turns people into drinkers, if I'm honest, watching what they're doing. It's been a big week. It's been a big week, especially for us. Man City lost in the league. Arsenal lost in the league. We went top, and again, Champions League were the only English team winning in the Champions League. Everyone else dropped again. Double loss for Man City, double loss for Arsenal. Wow, what a week. And you actually got a win in the Europe as well. So
hey, finally.
Moving on up. What's that song? Moving on up. What's that song? That's you, right? That's Man United right now. That is Man United right now in the Europa League.
Well, that's the Europa League so far. We've gone from 21st to 15th, so we're making great progress, guys. Now, honestly, for you guys, firstly, it's I think it's important that you guys continue your form and show the doubters that you guys haven't really missed a step. I think, obviously, Klopp was a phenomenal manager, but sometimes we put too much stock in the praise going to one person when they leave. It's like,
it was all Klopp. Yeah.
What's going to happen next? Same thing will happen with the day Salah leaves. Salah's gone. Where the goal's going to come from? But you got loads of forwards, and of course that'll be a big issue. But sometimes when you lose top players, you have to just realize you can't really replace them. That's just the name of the game. But you just got to find another way to win. And you guys are winning games, and you've gone through changes already. Firmino's gone, Mane's gone. The midfield went for a drastic change in the last 3 years alone. But you continue going forward. That's how you build a team. So when the season started and people were writing you off, it's a bit like, they've still got one of the greatest players in Premier League history up top. They've got a lot of speed. They've got a lot of power. They've got a lot of technique. They've got one of the best centre-backs that we've seen in the league, and then they've got young centre-backs that are really good in Konate, Kwanzaa, and you still got Alisson there. And Kelly has not a bad backup. Like, I can go on and on. I haven't even mentioned Trent yet. I haven't even mentioned Trent.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So you got a great team. On the other hand, with our team, we've gone through so many changes.
A good team.
It depends what you call a good team. But yeah,
look, think about your team though. Think about your team. I know you like doing poor in the league and the Europa League, whatever. But it's not your team really on paper is not as bad as the teams I've seen at Liverpool. It really isn't. As mad as it sounds. Like we had our front three were like Barini, Aspas, Markovic.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. When you put
Joe Allen, Charlie Adam in midfield with Jay Spearing.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Okay, when you put it like that, yeah, okay, fair. No, I think I'll be real. I do agree with that. I think the issue with United fans struggling with where we are right now is that Man United fans were spoiled way too much. How do I even explain this? We have spent a lot of money, and in the last 10, 11 years, we still bought a lot of quality players, and it's just not worked out for some reason. Angel Di Maria is a top player. Couldn't do anything with him. Go on and on and on. But the biggest difficulty is because we changed so many different managers, and in today's game, it's all about managers and their methods, their systems, and all that. So many different systems, so many different players. There's never going to be a consistent amount of form good enough. That's why you're in and out of the Champions League, in and out of the Europa League.
Is it hard to accept that you might have to start again, if that makes sense? Because obviously, for the 90s and the 2000s, you were the top dogs. You were winning every single year. Again, like you said there, even from getting people like Di Maria, Falcao, which used these big signings. Is it hard to sort of step back and say, hang on a second, we need to take a step back here, accept that we need to start again, sort of refresh, and start getting some upcoming players, and might take a while?
For me, no, because I kind of got used to that reality when we brought in Ole, because I wanted Mourinho in. So when Mourinho got fired, I thought to myself, okay, you know what? I think we're just going to change the whole thing now.
Yeah.
A complete reset, and we've just done it wrong each and every time. But what you're saying is difficult for a lot of United fans to accept. This is my big worry for Amorim, because, so to toot my own horn, I'm going to have to, I hardly ever do it, so I'm going to do it now. I've been saying this guy's name since lockdown. He had a short time at Braga, but he did an amazing job there. Got them a trophy.
He won the cup. You're going to say he won the cup, didn't he? Yeah, he did.
Won the cup. Only lost 3 games in the time period he was there. So much so that Sporting decided to pay a massive fee to bring him down. Sporting were in a time of turmoil. If anyone remembers the riots that they're having, the players didn't want to play for them anymore. The fans were storming the pitch, storming the training grounds, finding where these players lived. And he's come into that storm, calmed everything down, and in his first season won a trophy. Well, not a trophy, he won the league. 19 years later, after they had won the other league, they won the league, and the success came after that. But United, it's a case of, okay, so if you're back in the Champions League, I expect you to now progress. So when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer finished second, it was like, well, the next thing's got to be first. We're not near City's team. So first is unrealistic.
Yeah, that second was a bit of a cover-up on it. It was a bit of a cover-up, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Spot on. And sometimes you just need to realise that sometimes the team just isn't ready. And sometimes it's a case of other teams that are, I say, squad-wise better than you, just not being up to par for that season. Liverpool finished. We won the league. Did you win the league and then
20? Yeah.
And then Alisson had to get you in. Was it Champions League?
Madness to get off. Yeah. Well, we came third that season. We came third eventually, but yeah, went like a 9-game winning run at the end of the season to come third.
Exactly. Because, look how good your team is and what you went through. So if our team is not near that level, you finish in second, you're supposed to finish first. It's a bit insane. So I'm worried for Amorim in that aspect because he needs time. I'm a big fan of his, and he's built squads, but he needs time. And United fans just don't have patience, unfortunately.
I could come on here, right, and lie and say, look, Amorim wasn't one of my choices for Liverpool manager when it came up in the summer, but behind Alonso, he was my second choice. I'll be honest. It was my second choice behind, because obviously I do like watching. I don't watch European football live all the time. I do catch highlights a lot, but I like to keep up on it, especially on live score and stuff like that. And I like to keep on world football and see what they're doing. So I always keep an eye on teams like Sporting Lisbon, people like Salzburg, people like these teams that are upcoming. Bodo Glimt is a good one actually. If you want to go out there and have a look at Bodo Glimt, get their football watched because they play good football and they seem to have started getting Champions League a bit now instead of Mould in the Norwegian league. So there's teams like that I like to keep an eye on and see what they're doing. Sporting Lisbon's been one of them. And this guy's turned Sebastian Cortes into a decent centre back, so he must be an all right coach, if I'm honest.
Good,
and he was my second choice behind Alonso, but I'm happy with Slot now. Absolutely delighted with Slot. I think it would have been all right with any of 3 of them, if I'm honest. Looking back on it, and I've got to be honest. I think you've got the right appointment in terms of Amorim, but it's just the need to not back him because they've backed every manager, but back him. When he's not just transfers, but back him in the decisions that he makes. If he says is out, he's out. You know what I'm saying? This is what you need, a bit more brutality at that club, I think, to
did you guys have
turn
that
it around.
Did you guys have that with Klopp? I mean, I can obviously see that you guys went through a lot of changes, but was he?
It did at the beginning. It did at the beginning, yeah. Because I remember Sacco turned up late for training in America, so the pre-season, and he never saw light of day again. He was gone, but it's been hard because obviously FSG's been behind, so we haven't been able to spend how we want to spend. So he's not been as brutal as I'd want him to, if that makes sense. We've hung on to players way too far. Oxlade-Chamberlain were 2-3 years overdue going. Origi were quite similar. We outprice these players because we need to bring a certain amount of money in to pay for transfers.
Yeah. Because
we don't get any funds from FSG, so we sort of outpriced these players and didn't want brutal enough. I think Slot's brutal in terms of. I think he's more brutal than Klopp in terms of dropping players.
Yeah.
But we'll see in transfer wise when he gets rid of players or brings players in. It's all an FSG for me for that in terms of allowing form movement and that.
Well, I don't know how many changes you need right now. I mean, you know better than me. I mean,
I say we need two. I say we need two proper first team signings.
Okay,
that's a CDM and a left back. But
is Robertson? Yeah, okay, yeah, Robertson. Because Robertson, I don't know. Has he run out of steam?
He's
right.
Unfortunately, he's like at the end of because all is a class player and he's class on the ball, but his main ethic was hard work, energy, and I think he's just lost it. And once he lost his energy, it's a bit like Henderson, really. Henderson was all based on like running. Once his legs were gone, it sort of didn't really offer as much, and it's hard to see. It's hard to watch Robertson now because the player he was like the best left back. I'd say probably the best left back behind Ashley Cole in terms of Premier League. Obviously, alongside Evra possibly, but I'd say peak is probably better than peak Evra.
Oh, I don't know. It's better. Well, it depends what you want. Evra was not he didn't play the same sort of swashbuckling style.
I get it. Yeah, but I definitely top three anyway. Definitely top three left backs ever. So, and we're not going to get that back again. And I don't think Tsimikas is that level. I do like Tsimikas, great backup option, but he's not that Robbo level that we're seeing. So
fair. Yeah, okay, that's fair. I mean, okay, here's someone for you. I don't know if he fits your style of play, but apparently Alphonso Davies is out of contract in the summer. Would he be? Because he's kind of a quick one,
and he can play centre back as well, can't he? So he's quite versatile. So
a little bit, yeah.
It would. I think Aitno is the first one that's coming up in. I like Anthony Robinson.
Oh yes.
I like Robinson, and I also like. I said it for a while, but I don't think we'd ever go for Theo Hernandez. But I don't think we'd ever go for Theo Hernandez.
That's a big one.
Definitely player.
That's a big one, yeah.
But I don't think we'd ever go for him. So there's a few out there. If we can get someone that's might not be Robbo level, but Robbo wasn't at that level until he came to Liverpool. Like, we bought him from Hull, who were relegated at that point. So also a big week for Liverpool, big week for all of England in terms of results in the Champions League because shocks into beating Arsenal, Sporting Lisbon, Amorim Sporting Lisbon, absolutely annihilating Manchester City. I know they got battered on in terms of the game, but 4-1. How did that look from a Man United point of view?
Well, that can only be a positive because he wasn't like sort of tactically outclassed. City had a lot of possession. He found a way in the second half. He changed things in the middle because he saw that his team had a problem defensively.
Yep.
Sorted out and then became a pure counter team and destroyed City on the counter. And then the thing about him and his teams is once they get the first goal, they like to score a second very quickly. And you got that as well with getting the penalty and getting the second goal. So it bodes well. Again, for United fans, there has to be a level of patience because we don't have the same sort of squad profile squad. We don't have that, where we have a striker like Gyökeres. We can potentially play three at the back. I don't think the profiles are great right now for three at the back, but if he does it, I would prefer that he probably plays one of the youngsters alongside De Ligt and probably will be Martinez.
Euro. Yeah.
But I say Euro. Me personally, if I had my way, if I'm being honest, I'd have Euro, De Ligt, and what's his brother's name? Maguire, actually.
Would you? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think he'd work in a three at the back, possibly. Yeah, but it would
exactly.
What your worry there is your fullback, your wing backs in except Dalot. I think Dallo's on and off in here, but then you haven't really got a left wing back. You got Luke Shaw's always injured, so.
I'll be honest with you, bro. If I had it my way, Dallo wouldn't play for Man United right now. Has
that missed the week really? really?
Oh no, it's not even that miss. Well, the miss as well, but I feel like Man United fans have been conned by this apparent level of form that he's been in. He's been good on the ball here and there, but he's defensively he can't defend, and he hasn't been good defensively for the last 18 months. So this good form is a lie. It's just my opinion. I think it's a bald-faced lie. If I had it my way, I'd have Mazraoui at right wing back or right midfielder, however he wants to set it up. And on the left, I mean, well, yeah, you don't know if Luke Shaw's ever going to be fit. Malacia doesn't seem to ever be fit. So if I had it my way, personally, I'd just bite the bullet and put Martinez there in the meantime, just because I don't trust any of them.
Yeah, you haven't really got anyone else, have you? You can't even play like you can't drop Rashford back. He don't work hard enough for that.
Well, exactly, and I don't want to do what Ten Hag did in one of his final games when he put Toby Collier left back, which was very weird. Like again, there's weird decisions.
It's one of them. I know I'm going to the door. Weird decisions, isn't it? Yeah. Every manager does it. When they know they're going to the door, they do something weird. Yeah, I mean, who did he put up front the week?
Mazraoui.
Up front. That's what I'm saying. It's sort of like he knew he was off. I thought, fuck this. I'm experimenting whilst I can.
Yeah, exactly.
A bit like, when you're about to leave your job and you're thinking, let's try something I've never done before. Let's see if I can unplug that. If you leave working in a supermarket, let's see if I can unplug that freezer and see what happens tomorrow and unplug that freezer. You know what I'm saying? It's still stuff that you probably do when you know you're off. So, continue on the Champions League, though, Kojo. Obviously, Liverpool top of the group, 4 wins out of 4. Sporting, Monaco, Brest, Inter, Barca, Dortmund and Villa make up the top 8. Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Man City and Arsenal are the top 8. But Bayern Munich Bayern Munich, Real Madrid and PSG are down in 18th, 17th and 25th.
Yeah.
PSG are currently going out completely, not even going to qualifying bit.
I think Madrid will make it at least into the playoff part of the knockouts. The thing about Real Madrid, people keep forgetting, even when we had the normal group stages, they always had a bit of a shaky period.
Yeah.
It's just what they do.
They're a bit like City in the league, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
They give you hope, and then second half of the season, they just
take it away from you.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. But they've got 4 more games. The 8 games is a grace. Is lucky. You're lucky to get 8 games. You got a chance to win the last 4 games. The challenges ahead of you in terms of the levels of the teams you're facing are very up and down. So you might get lucky with a team that you should be.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird, this format.
Yeah. Are you a fan of the format?
I've seen Robbie complain about it.
He went off. Yeah.
No, I'm going to say something about that, actually, Robbie, because it's not like Arsenal have ever won this competition. So the format changing makes fuck all difference to you anyway. So you can't have that as an excuse anyway. But if I'm being perfectly honest, I can't get excited for it. And we're top. It's a weird thing. I do like playing these teams open and away. I do like the group stage. I thought, my dad always says, don't fix something it's not broken. I don't think it was broken. I don't like the extra 2 games, but I probably might get into it towards like the last 2 group stage matches. Liverpool probably already qualified top of the group and top of the league, so it's already done. But just a bit of excitement. When I think the last games, every game's on at the same time, so that might give it a little bit of spice. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of paprika on your chicken. I think that's at the moment right now it's just plain chicken. Yeah. I think the last 2 games of the group stage, it might just give it a little bit of spice, a little bit of chicken seasoning, a little bit of paprika. You know what I'm saying? That's what it needs. But at the moment, I do get Robbie, but I don't get Robbie at the same time. I do get Robbie about the thing, but Arsenal don't win fuck all in the Champions League anyway, so it makes a difference to them anyway. So you can have a two team only format with Arsenal and fucking Salzburg in it. You still lose it, so it doesn't even really matter. Who out of the top 8 then? Sporting, Monaco, Brest, Inter, Barca, Dortmund, and Villa. Who are the ones that could be the surprise package out of them?
Honestly, I'm not really sure.
Villa started really well, didn't they? But then they lost to Club Brugge. They got battered against Club Brugge as well.
Well, they got there. They got battered in the game, but they lost because of very stupid
Yeah, that was ridiculous. That was absolutely ridiculous.
No idea what was going on in his head.
One team that looks like to be back, actually, Taki Minamino at Monaco. They're playing really well in the league as well. And Minamino has actually found his, I won't say he's found his level, but he's found his form again.
Yeah.
And he's doing really well at Monaco. So that's definitely... Also, you'll be watching Amorim at Sporting, second in the Champions League.
Well, not anymore. After this weekend, he's done, isn't he? So.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But yeah, good point. He's coming straight to you. But I'd still be interested to see how Sporting do when he leaves, to be honest. Will
That's
that
what
drop
I'm
off them?
see, because I don't know who the manager's going to be. Apparently, he's played their B team coach. So maybe there's some sort of continuation there, which could go well. But if I'm being honest, surprised
these leagues are pretty good at that. These clubs are pretty good at sort of replacing quite, because it's harder in the Premier League. It's the biggest league in the world, so it's hard to replace a Premier League club. But these sort of Portuguese leagues and Dutch leagues, they sort of
I don't think
I'm not
gonna lie to you. I don't think it's that difficult. Well, it's not that it's not that difficult. It's difficult if you are a strong, sort of Champions League main team like you guys, where you lose someone like Klopp and the pressure's on to find someone that can continue. But honestly, if you look at how Brighton did it, I mean, at first when they when I was on the style of play with Theo, when they brought in Herzog, I was a bit critical only because he doesn't have any sort of top flight experience in any country. So I was a bit like, okay, this is a big gamble. You got a young squad, you're bringing in more young players, you bring a very young manager. The pressure could be high. Brighton are a nice club that the fans don't seem to put a lot of pressure on the club to qualify for Europe or anything.
Yeah.
But it's still the Premier League. But he's taken the job really well and he's started fantastically. So it just depends about finding the right profile of manager. The game is a bit different now. When the top teams don't need to necessarily have to always go for the biggest name. Sometimes you have to just go for the right manager. That's the issue that we still have. As much as I'm happy with Amorim because I've been a big fan of his for a long time, he was the next biggest name in the land of managers. Oh, he's the next big thing. He's the guy. He must be him. So they've gone and paid the money for him. Hopefully it works. But if it doesn't, we're going to have the same conversation again as to why it didn't work. So it's just about picking it carefully, man.
Especially managers, people leave, people go, and one manager that isn't that's looking like he might go sometime soon is Arteta, but his fans here to join.
His
fans here to join.
Just in the nick of time.
Just in the time of talking Arteta, Basil. Funnily enough,
I thought Arsenal would have been first, and we would have.
No.
Arsenal never come first, mate. Arsenal never come first.
Exactly.
Champions League format. This is Champions League format, so Arsenal never win this. I'll come first in this. So Arteta, Basil, Arteta. Edu's gone. Is Arteta next?
No, Arteta's not going anywhere. But if it was me, I'd get rid of him in the summer. Honestly, he's run his race. The course is over. Get rid of him in the summer. I mean, he's had 6 seasons to build something, and it's just not working. I mean, I'm happy Edu's gone. I'm very surprised. I mean, what people like to do is they like to look at the very few good signings Edu did. But if you look at his performance as a whole, he was actually a shocking technical director. Negotiations terrible. Do you know, people forget how many bad signings Edu has made under Arsenal. And also at least 75% of the signings he's made have not worked out whatsoever. Have not worked out. I mean, we can go from Tavares, from him signing Pablo Mari. He was there on loan, gave him a contract, sold him in. For him giving Cedric a contract. For him signing the likes of Lokonga. Him signing the likes of Fabio Vieira. Marino doesn't seem like a good signing. Funny enough, I didn't realize it was Edu that signed, what's his name? Pepe. I thought the signing was before him. Yeah, that's an Edu signing. If you look at overall, he's terrible. And we take an age to actually conclude deals, which shows me he's a bad negotiator. So we look at the Mudryk deal, even the Marino deal took about how many weeks to be concluded. Even the Declan Rice deal took how many weeks to be concluded. Overall, I'm happy he's gone. I don't think he was a good technical director whatsoever. Arteta, for me, needs to go in the summer. Like, enough is enough. Like,
okay, but okay.
Go on.
One, why? And two,
Why?
if he was to go, who?
Honestly, people will say who. I've always said, I don't mind. Just give me a manager. It could be an unknown. Give me a manager who has ideas, has a bit of creativity. Because same as look at Slot. Before Slot came into Liverpool, who would have even touted Slot for a big job, big managerial job? But you see, he's come in, he has his ideas, knows how to work with the players, and you can see what he's doing and building there. So when people say who, I'm like, listen, as long as you find the right profile, it can work out.
Sorry.
What about a winner? You need a winner, don't you? Like Ten Hag or something.
Just wait, okay, that's cheeky. But Basil, you're in trouble now because Cahill, for those of you listening, free midfield, Cahill, he's just standing behind the camera smiling, but not in an agreement way. He's fuming with you. He's not happy. He's not happy with your opinions, right? Yeah, Basil.
Why is Cahill not happy? Oh my gosh.
Basil, are you serious? Are you serious, Basil?
I love this.
I understand you're Mr. Pessimistic. It's been a minute, but are you serious? We need somebody like Arne Slot. Arne Slot, did he win the league in Eredivisie? Yeah. He won the Eredivisie. I understand it's a very different league, but he's still a champion.
We'll see come the end of the season.
But we can't see come the end of the season. I don't get this. I don't get this pessimism. Like in 3 years. It's been 3 years since we've had a bad run of form like this, and you're turning the lecture.
It's not even for me. It's not even a bad run of form, right? For me, there's many things. Like he's had a good 2 years, and then the first thing is his stubbornness. First and foremost, he can't get the squad going anymore. Like he's very rigid in his tactics, lack of flexibility, always the same substitute, and he doesn't. And his squad management is horrible. And when you look at all the clubs who have been successful in the league, squad management, some they have. Arteta doesn't have that. We signed Sterling, doesn't want to use Sterling. Substitutions is always the same. Honestly, tactically, it's horrible. There's no jeopardy for players playing badly. I mean, Trossard and Martinelli have been playing badly for how many weeks, and he's still starting them. I can never understand that. And secondly, the lack of ambition. Because for me, you can tell that we're still trying to win things with the same squad we had from last season. So for me, the fact that there's no desire to even just strengthen and move the squad on, that for me is also a part on Arteta too, because he seems happy with what he has. So for me, all of that built up together, I'm just like, he has to go. He has to go. This is his sixth season, KO. How many years do you want to give him? 10 years?
I don't want to give him. I'm not saying that he has.
We've seen that he can't close in the big moments, choker in the big moments.
Yes, he's choked in the big moments. I understand that, but name me a manager that in the past, how many years is because Pep won the league consecutively?
Yep,
4 years.
4 years in a row. There's been one manager, one manager, and that manager is the second best manager in the world. That was Jurgen Klopp. But so I understand that we had leads.
There's a difference, Cahill. And obviously, this is one thing I like to bring, because when I watch like maybe the pundit speak or Sky Sports, they always say, "Oh, Arteta's done well, but Pep." But no, there's a difference. And I said this last time, Damon, when we did this last week. I said there's a difference between if you're chasing City or is neck and neck. When you look at the last 2 seasons, it's been in Arsenal's hands. It isn't because it's Pep. It's because Arsenal have slipped up. 2 seasons ago, we had a good points advantage, and we lost games against teams that we shouldn't have. 2-0 up against Liverpool, shouldn't have thrown that way. Drawing, we lost to West Ham, or was it a draw that we had against West Ham?
Which year?
When 2 years ago, not last year.
2-2, didn't it? Was it 2-2?
The Liverpool game. Did we draw or lose against? I think we lost against West Ham.
And then we lost against Southampton.
Lost to Southampton and also lost to Brighton in that run. Those are not teams you should be losing to if you're serious about winning a league. People say it was Pep. No, that's Arsenal's own downfall. Even last season, all we had to do was beat Villa. We're at the back end of the season. It wasn't as if we were chasing City. We were ahead of it. And it was in our hands. And we lost to Villa. So I said the difference is when it's in your hands and you're that close and you can't close, that's on the manager. It's not on the fact that, we were facing City. City were behind us. That's on the manager. And so that shows me that when push comes to shove, he's not the right man to close or lead Arsenal forward. And we're seeing it in the last few games. Not even the last few games, but for most parts of this season, it hasn't been great.
Yeah, it hasn't been great. And we've missed Odegaard massively, but I'm not even going to say Odegaard's been the key piece. I mean, he's obviously played a very defensive style of football, and it has not been pleasing on the eye, but that's defensive style of football almost beat City. Almost. I understand it's almost, but if we didn't get the man sent off, we would have beat them. What else? The Liverpool game. There was a few decisions that didn't go our way. Declan Rice getting sent off against Brighton. There were factors that you're not putting into. You're adding to the discussion.
I'll say this, Cahill, right? And this is one of that because I was speaking to a friend and I said to him, the difference is when Arsenal go to 10 men is negative. If City go down to 10 men, they still control the game. I still have
that's Manchester City
and even Liverpool. And even Liverpool in the past.
Yes, but Basil, look at the players. Look at the players that they have. There are multiple players in Liverpool's team that walk into Arsenal. There are multiple. There are almost the whole of City teams. City's team walk into Arsenal. We've gone into this year, and this is where I blame Arteta. We've gone into this year with a weakened squad, or a squad that wasn't able to do it, and we haven't pushed in the transfer market to get the killers or the people that will help push us over the line. That's on Arteta. I agree.
Yeah.
But we need to also factor in that Arne Slot has walked into this Liverpool side that one finished third. Two are champions of England and champions of Europe, have a killer in Mo Salah, have a forward line of Darwin Núñez, Jota, Luis Diaz, Gakpo. All of them can walk into Arsenal. All of them. Even Darwin Núñez. How about his leading our line? Darwin Núñez, bro, walks into Arsenal Football Club. So the idea that we have this divine right to win the league is ridiculous.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, but I'll say this, Cahill.
Go for it.
What will happen? And this is a question. What will happen if Arne Slot wins this league in this season? What would that say about Arteta?
That says nothing about Arteta. It says that Liverpool have a great team. They have the best centre back in the world. They have one of the best goalkeepers in the world. They have the best right winger in the world. They have wouldn't Arsenal fans say the same? One of the greatest.
Wouldn't Arsenal fans say the same about some of our players?
I'm not one of those Arsenal fans though, and you know that, and you know that. Saka is nowhere near the level of Salah. I'm sorry, he's good, he's great, but he's nowhere near the level of Saka. Who else have we got? Like we can go through the list all throughout and through on, but to close, because I've taken too much of your time already. I'm not even meant to be podcasting. To close on this whole debate, it's ridiculous that after 3 years of successful football, because this team was nowhere before Arteta.
Yeah,
he's 5 years in or 6 years into his managerial career. This is his debut. Of course, he's going to make mistakes. It's important, and you can't tell me that there's a manager out there that's not going to make the same mistakes. There's no manager like a Pep, like a Klopp, that's going to come into a team and completely revolutionize it. And to be fair, can you disagree that Arteta hasn't revolutionized this Arsenal side? We were a joke, and not a joke for God knows how many years on the podcast.
You were Man United, weren't you? You were Man United, basically.
But let's not go that far. Let's not go that far.
What are you doing here, man?
Let's not go that far. But we were an absolute joke before Arteta took the reins. We were the laughing stock of the Premier League. Teams like West Ham were laughing at us. Watford players were calling us bottlers. Watford, bro, Arteta has done a fantastic job. It is a blip in the road, and we will get back to where we belong. It probably has to be next year, but going forward, the transfer decisions need to be quicker and they need to be more decisive. Because that's what's killed us.
I'll say this last question, Cahill.
Go for it. I'm squatting like a madman. My knees are
last question. So at what point? So how long would you give Arteta before you? Let's say for instance this season doesn't go our way. Let's say I don't know we finish third, not at quarterfinal. How long would you then start to say, okay?
It's not about time. It's about Champions League. If we're out the Champions League, he's got to go. Simple as that.
At what stage?
No, not the tournament.
He's not in there.
As in, we don't qualify. This team is good enough to qualify for the Champions League every year, no doubt. But from that, we need to push on. Of course, we can, and we can push on. Pep's going. Liverpool, a lot of their team is leaving at the end of the year. Trent's contract's up. Salah's contract's up. So there's time. We got to be patient. This is a very young team. I'm not even going to say trust the process. That's a nonsense phrase, and that annoyed me when it began. But we got to give this guy time, and we got to give these players time to develop into actual killers. And we'll buy players that will push us forward, hopefully. Anyway, but thank you for, I think that was 10 minutes. I'm gonna go now. Basil, you're wrong. Don't be. I know you're pessimistic, but Basil, you're wrong. Anyway, thank you guys.
Yeah, great to see you.
I think it is a shame that Arteta's come at the period he has, like Pep and Klopp is there, and this guy, it is his first job. They've got to be contact using it. It is his first job.
I wouldn't say it's a shame. It was an opportunity.
Yeah, I get that.
The reason why I say that is this, right? You have to test yourself against the best. I always hate this thing where people always say, "Wait until." Players are done, managers done. Because for me, it's not a sign of what you. For me, it's like if you come in, we want to show you the best. Like I remember when Mourinho came into the Premier League, and the first thing he says, "I'm the special one." You had Wenger there, you had Sir Alex Ferguson there. He didn't care that they were at the top of the game. In his mind, it's like, "I want to show you I'm the best. I'm going to compete against them." And you won 2 league titles in a row. For me, managers need to have that mindset. And for me, I agree with Keo. Arteta's done a very good job since he's come in, considering where we were. But then, I was about to ask, I forgot my point. He's done a very good job from where we are. But then, obviously, for me, it's like the measure of him has to be against the very best. He can't come in and think, "Oh, I need to wait until Pep is gone. Now Klopp is gone. Now I can show." Because then, obviously, when you're then talking about his legacy, you go back and say, "Well, he couldn't do it against the best when they were there, even if you win something after." And so, for me, it's like, if you want to push yourself and you want to be the best that you can, you have to come up against these guys and find ways to win against these guys when you're competing. If not, then it's for me, it says a lot about what you are as a manager. Now, I don't think Arteta thinks that way. I think in his mind, I can compete and I can win things, because you can see it from what he says in his press conference and what he wants to do. But then it shows that he has a lot to learn, and he needs to start implementing whatever he's trying to learn very, very quickly, because at the moment the regression is quite startling what I'm seeing, and it isn't the results. I actually don't care about the results. It's how we're playing. And some of the in-game tactics for me is very questionable this season. And I'll say this last thing before I go. I'll always say this. One of my biggest issues within Arteta is that Arsenal are very good front runners. When they take the lead, they know how to hold on to it most of the time. One of my biggest issues I've had with our squad is when we go behind, we haven't always looked like a team who have enough quality to sometimes drag ourselves back into a game. And that has always been one of my biggest concerns with Arsenal. We go against a decent side, we go a goal behind. Sometimes I struggle to see where we're going to win. And Newcastle was that, Inter Milan was that. And it's not just this season, it's also been the same in previous seasons. The only difference is that, like last season, we took the lead in a lot of the games. So we never got to see the character. Until we went to Villa, we went 1 goal behind, and you saw how we kind of struggled to create a lot of chances in that game.
What the biggest thing I have against Arteta in terms of his tactics, he's spot on regarding his tactics as well. Like, he's going into these games, right, not wanting to lose rather than wanting to win. And that's starting to cost him now. Like the City one, I know he went down 10 men, but the way he defended, and against us, he was 2-1 up against us. And you didn't really go for the killer. You didn't go and finish the game off. You sat back. We got the goal, and then you're happy with the point. You did. That was not. Klopp wasn't like that, and Pep's not like that. He'll go get another goal and go finish this game off.
I agree with the Liverpool one. I think Liverpool were there for the taking, and maybe he should have been a bit more offensive in that game. The City one, I didn't mind too much. Yeah, one of those you roll the dice, and because of how City play football and how they're able to open up, I wasn't too mad that he decided second half we're just going to defend. We almost did it, but because it was City and it's 10 men, you don't want to open yourself up. We've been opened up by City too many times in the past. So that game, I can let
Brighton game was another, actually. Brighton game was another.
Brighton game was a funny one because we were conservative, and then when it got to like maybe the last 10 minutes, we decided we're just gonna take the draw. I think we were cautious, but trying to see if we can get something. And then when it got to a certain point, he was like, "No, I'm just gonna take the draw." Which I think Brighton were there for the taking, personally, and I think we could have been a bit more adventurous for the entire game to try and get a second goal and hold it. But it is what it is. The Liverpool one is the one where I'm a bit more disappointed in terms of.
You go for it,
yeah. We kind of let you guys back into it in the second half, when maybe we could have gone and sought a third to kind of kill the game off, and then if he wants to go defensive, go defensive.
Before we do go, obviously it's bad being an Arsenal fan this week because you've had three losses in a row now? Three losses in a row now. In fact, since Julian said invincible, I've been on Cecil by that, by the way. Since Julian said being invincible, you've not won a game. So it's bad being an Arsenal fan right now, but it's even worse being a Man United fan. So before we do go, Kojo, give me a prediction of Man United Leicester this week.
Man, that's probably the worst segue I've ever had to go through. I'm gonna go 2-0 United this weekend.
Yeah, it should be a win, shouldn't it? With Leicester, it's one of them games where you get some confidence.
Concede 5 chances. Leicester should have scored 4 of them, and then we score one in the 70th minute. Then they go and do some small game, get a counter attack, score the second one. The job done. Same old.
I've seen a Vardy madness at Old Trafford before. That's when they won the league, isn't it? I said so. Yeah. Big game this week for Arsenal, but we're going to go through the other ones first. I was at Tottenham Ipswich. Boys, easy win for Tottenham.
I'm going.
Could be a few, can it?
I'm going
few goals.
No, I'm going 3-1 Tottenham because I'm going
1-0 Tottenham.
Yeah, because I think Ipswich at that point. Oh no, because I can't see Tottenham keeping a clean sheet. That's why I'm going 3-1.
Oh.
Brighton Man City is another huge game. That could be another drop points.
I'm going 2-1 Brighton.
Wow, I could say it could be another drop points in Brighton.
I think Basil's going with his heart rather than his.
He's going with his heart.
You watch.
I'm going for a draw anyway. Yeah.
One of Liverpool's nearest rivals, Nottingham Forest, closer than Arsenal. They've got Newcastle. Kojo. Forest, Newcastle, another good game.
I'm going for a Forest win.
Oh,
yeah, I'm going for a Forest win. Yeah, I think they continue their form.
No, I'm going for a draw. I'm going 1-1.
Forest are only rivals that I'm looking back and scared of at the moment. So I'll be hate watching that game. Liverpool got Villa Saturday night. It's a hard game. Villa are a tough team, but I think Liverpool being at home and Liverpool the way we're playing at the moment. If we play like we did against Leverkusen second half, we win. If we play against Leverkusen first half, we don't win. It's as simple as that. It's a mixed bag, really. I think we'll beat them 2-1. I don't think it'll be convincing.
I agree with you, then. I think 2-1 Liverpool.
I think 3-0 if they play Tyrone Mings.
Nah, he's not. We know he's not.
He's been dropped after last night. There's no way he's playing. The big one Sunday. Cole Palmer is going to destroy Arsenal. Is it Kojo? Cole Palmer masterclass?
Oh yeah, he's going to get me some lovely FPL points this weekend.
He's getting two FPL points this weekend. If I was you,
yeah, I think that's going to be. I think that might be a bit of a goal fest. But I'm going to go 3-2 Chelsea.
Nah, I'm seeing Jackson moonwalking. Right on Sunday evening. In front of the Arsenal fans.
Let me tell you exactly what the score is going to be. It's going to be 2-1 Arsenal. That's going to be the final score.
Wow.
I'm telling you that now.
Wow. Okay.
Chelsea are that bad defensively. There's no way they're keeping us out. And secondly, I don't fear their forward line, to be honest, because they don't have a consistent forward line. So I'm just like, I think Saliba and Gabriel will be able to handle Jackson, and Cole Palmer will be shut out throughout that game. To be honest, it'll be the same performance he gave against. Was it Liverpool that shut him out, where he didn't have the greatest?
Yeah.
It'll be the same as Liverpool. I'm going 2-1 Arsenal. So
now Basil said that, we're going to have a Talking Rival special match reaction on Sunday around 6:30, boys. Yeah. Talking Rival special match reaction for Arsenal Chelsea and the weekends and the relegation battle between Man United and Leicester as well tomorrow. Is that tomorrow or is that Sunday? I don't know which game it is on.
I think it's tomorrow.
I tend not to look at Man United games anymore.
I think it's 5:30 kickoff, right, Kojo? He doesn't even know when he's playing.
Just watch the game. No worries. This is my first time here, and I've been slaughtered. It's all right, man. It's all right. Right now, it's all right. I tried to cause Arsenal civil war, and I'm still getting heated up. So hey, man, here we go.
I'm gonna say you call civil war between the Arsenal fans. So you need some. Give me something back, though. You can give me something back, but it's hard at the moment because we're on top of everything.
There's nothing to give you guys back. This is great, us.
Clutching at straws. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you, Kojo, Cahill, and Basil coming late, joining. I didn't think you were going to come on, Basil, but here he is.
Yeah, I was rushing home. When I got home, I was like...
Absolutely appreciate it, boys. And tomorrow we're going to be live for...
I thought Arsenal would have been first.
We need to do this more often, boys. All of us together. We need to do this more often. Yeah. Every week, talking rivals. Up for Thursdays or Wednesdays, depending on other fixtures as well. Man United play Thursday, don't we? So it's a bit hard. Anyway, I might do it to Monday next week, actually. I might do it Monday next week, talking rivals, depending if everyone's free. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining. Tomorrow we are live for a preview in the morning. Also live reaction for Liverpool after the game as well, which will be about 10 o'clock. We are 8 o'clock kickoff. And I've also got a stats video out tomorrow morning as well regarding who the best midfielder in the league is according to stats. You'll be very surprised. And it's not Bruno Fernandes, by the way. Thank you everyone for watching. Have a great night and have a great weekend.